Have you ever noticed how some days everything seems to flow, you feel focused, inspired, even light, and then the very next day, it's like you're dragging yourself through emotional quicksand. You try to think positive, repeat your affirmations, even force a smile, but nothing seems to shift. That dip in your energy, it's not just in your head. There's a reason your vibration keeps crashing in it. Has everything to do with what's happening beneath the surface of your thoughts. From the perspective of quantum physics and neurobiology, your vibration isn't just an emotional state, a measurable field of energy generated by the coherence or lack of it between your thoughts, emotions, and physiology. When these are aligned, your energy becomes strong, steady, and magnetic. But when they're in conflict, like thinking, "I'm abundant," while feeling anxious or stressed, your field becomes scattered and unstable. This inner dissonance is what causes your vibration to drop, even when you're trying your hardest to stay high vibe. The truth is, most people wake up and immediately get pulled back into yesterday's worries. They reach for their phones, remember their to-do list, or mentally rehearse old fears. Without realizing it, they're activating the same emotional chemical state they've lived in for years. Their nervous system is already on high alert before the day even begins. This puts the body into a reactive mode, a frequency of survival. And no matter how many affirmations you repeat, if your body is vibrating stress and your heart isn't on board, your energy will keep crashing. But here's the fix, and it's faster than you think. The first step to stabilizing your vibration is coherence. Not fake positivity, not ignoring how you feel, but creating harmony between your heart, your breath, and your thoughts. It can begin with one simple moment of awareness, pausing, noticing how your body feels, and taking a conscious breath. That act alone begins to restore balance. Over time, as you train yourself to catch the dips early and reset quickly, your vibration no longer collapses under pressure, recalibrates. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present, enough to choose again. That's how you stop the crash and start rising again and again, until high vibration becomes your new normal. One of the most common reasons your vibration keeps crashing is because you're stuck in what science calls a vibrational loop, a feedback cycle between your thoughts, emotions, and biology. It's not just a mindset issue, it's energetic. When you wake up and immediately start replaying the same stressful thoughts, your brain activates the same chemical reactions in your body. These chemicals produce the same feelings, which in turn reinforce the same thoughts. And so, the loop continues from a quantum perspective. This isn't just habit, it's frequency repetition. Your personal energy field functions like a broadcast tower, constantly emitting signals based on your internal state. These signals interact with the quantum field around you, influencing what you perceive, how others respond to you, and which events collapse into your reality. If your signal is scattered, reactive, or fear-based, your external world reflects that same chaos. This is why trying to raise your vibration by just thinking better thoughts often fails. If your body is still locked in stress mode and your heart isn't on board, the signal you're sending into the field is incoherent. And in quantum terms, incoherence equals randomness. That's why you feel like you're trying so hard, but still getting unpredictable results, sometimes even the opposite of what you intended. So how do you fix this fast? It starts with understanding that your vibration isn't lost all at once. It slips away in tiny, unconscious moments. When you react instead of pause, when you clench instead of breathe, when you replay the old story instead of simply witnessing it. These micro-moments of contraction pull your energy out of alignment and send a scrambled signal. The fix is just as subtle but powerful. All it takes is one conscious breath, one moment of awareness, to interrupt the loop. When you observe, without judgment, you break the pattern. Your body relaxes, your heart begins to harmonize, and your field starts recalibrating in real time. This is how you begin training your system to choose coherence over chaos. You don't need to maintain a perfect high vibration 24/7. You just need to get good at returning again and again until your nervous system learns that calm and clarity are your new baseline. That's how you stop the crash before it begins. Here's a truth most people overlook. Your vibration isn't crashing because you're broken. It's crashing because your mind, heart, and nervous system are out of sync. You're broadcasting a mixed signal into the quantum field, and the field reflects that confusion right back. Let's break that down. High vibration isn't about feeling good all the time. It's not about pretending you're fine or ignoring what's really happening inside you. In fact, trying to maintain a false sense of positivity often creates internal conflict. Your mind might be thinking, everything's working out for me, but your body is vibrating with anxiety. That split creates energetic noise, an incoherent signal that causes the quantum field to return random results. This is why you can affirm abundance every morning and still feel stuck in scarcity. It's not your words that matter most. It's the signal you're sending through your entire system. That signal is shaped by your breath, your emotional state, your heart rhythm, and the electromagnetic field radiating from your body. The quantum field responds not to what you say, but to what you are in coherence with. So how do you fix this? Fast. Start by tuning your inner environment like you'd tune a musical instrument. Alignment isn't a one-time achievement, it's a moment-to-moment practice. You don't need to force a perfect state. You just need to notice when you're slipping out of harmony and gently guide yourself back. Here's a simple way to start. Pause and check in. Ask yourself, am I breathing deeply or am I tense? Is my heart open or am I in defense mode? Are my thoughts spinning or am I present? No judgment, just observation. This act of mindful awareness interrupts the loop of unconscious stress and brings your systems closer to coherence. And when your breath, emotions, and attention begin to synchronize, something remarkable happens. Your energy stabilizes. You feel grounded, clear, creative, and the field begins to mirror that back through synchronicities, clarity, and flow. The fix isn't in forcing a better mood. It's in retraining your body and energy field to respond differently. That's how you restore your vibration, not by pushing harder, but by aligning deeper. When coherence becomes your default, crashing becomes the exception, not the rule. Your vibration doesn't suddenly crash out of nowhere. It erodes in small, often unnoticed ways throughout your day. It happens when you choose to react instead of pause, when you tense up rather than breathe through the moment, when you replay a fear-based story instead of observing it for what it is, a pattern from the past. These micro-moments may seem insignificant, but they carry energetic weight. Each time you make a fear-based choice, you slightly disrupt the coherence of your field. Over time, these little misalignments compound until you find yourself completely out of sync, overwhelmed, drained, disconnected. You might not even know how you got there. This is how most people live, on autopilot, unaware that the way they respond to daily stressors is slowly unraveling their energetic alignment. But the powerful news is this: if your vibration crashes because of small unconscious choices, then you can rebuild it just as easily through small conscious ones. The fix is not to overhaul your entire life in one day. It's to develop awareness of the tiny decision points that are constantly shaping your energy. For example, when someone says something triggering, do you immediately contract? Or can you pause, take a breath, and choose to respond from a grounded place? That pause, that single breath's more than a calming technique. It's an energetic reset. It brings your nervous system back into balance, your heart rhythm into harmony, and your field back into coherence. One of the most overlooked tools for stabilizing your vibration is your heart. Scientific research in neurocardiology has shown that your heart emits an electromagnetic field far more powerful than your brain's. When your heart rhythm becomes smooth and synchronized, especially through slow, intentional breathing, you broadcast a clearer, higher frequency. This state is called coherence, and it's not a metaphor, it's measurable. When you're in coherence, your thoughts are clearer, your emotions are balanced, and your body feels more at ease. More importantly, your vibration becomes stable, even under stress. So next time your energy starts to dip, don't panic, don't fight it. Notice it, pause, breathe, and remind yourself, your vibration isn't failing, you're just being offered another chance to choose. Alignment over reaction, and that choice changes everything. If you've ever felt like you're doing all the right things, thinking positive, repeating affirmations, even meditating, but your reality still feels chaotic, there's likely one missing piece. Your body isn't in alignment with your intention. Your vibration keeps crashing, not because you're not trying hard enough, but because effort isn't the solution, coherence is. Let's be clear, the quantum field doesn't respond to your words alone. It responds to the total frequency you're emitting, your thoughts, feelings, physiology, and focus. You can say, I am abundant, 100 times a day. But if your nervous system is locked in stress, and your heart is tight with fear, your energy field sends out a mixed, incoherent signal. And from a quantum perspective, that incoherence generates random, unpredictable results, often ones that mirror the very things you're trying to avoid. This is why so many people feel drained after trying to stay positive. They're unknowingly creating an inner war between what they think and what they truly feel. Their mind says one thing, but their body says another, and the quantum field always listens to the signal with the strongest coherence. Usually, that's the emotionally charged, fear-based frequency you're not even aware you're broadcasting. So how do you fix this? Stop trying to force positivity and start cultivating alignment. That means bringing your mind, breath, and heart into sync, especially in the moments you're tempted to push or pretend. One of the fastest ways to do this is through heart-centered breathing. When you slow your breath and focus on a regenerative feeling like appreciation, love, or calm, you create a measurable shift in your body. Your heart rhythm smooths out, your brain begins to function more clearly, your nervous system relaxes, and most importantly, your energetic field becomes coherent again. This isn't just woo, it's physics. A stable, coherent field emits a clear signal into the quantum realm, and that's what draws aligned outcomes to you, not because you forced it, but because you became a match for it. So the next time you feel your energy crashing, stop performing positivity, pause, breathe, align, and let your vibration rise from the inside out. Because when you're coherent, the universe listens. Let's talk about one of the most overlooked reasons your vibration keeps crashing your mornings. The way you begin your day is either priming your system for coherence or setting you up to repeat yesterday's stress patterns. Most people wake up and immediately check their phone, scroll through emails, or mentally dive into everything that's gone wrong. Without realizing it, they're telling their nervous system to re-enter survival mode before they've even left the bed. Here's what science shows. In the first few minutes after waking, your brain transitions from theta to beta wave states. This is a brief window where your subconscious is still highly programmable and your body hasn't yet remembered the stress patterns it usually defaults to. If you use this moment wisely, you can set a stable vibrational foundation that holds throughout the day. But if you miss it, you're likely to spend the rest of the day chasing alignment instead of starting from it. The fix: create a morning ritual centered around coherence, not motivation, not productivity, just energetic harmony. One of the most powerful practices is something called heart coherence breathing, backed by decades of research from institutions like HeartMath. Here's how it works: 1. Before reaching for your phone, place a hand on your heart. 2. Close your eyes and slow your breathing about 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. 3. Imagine breathing directly into your heart center. For now, bring in a regenerative emotion: gratitude, love, safety, appreciation, whatever feels natural. 5. Let that feeling expand in your chest as you continue breathing for 3 to 5 minutes. This simple technique creates cardiac coherence, which immediately calms your nervous system, aligns your heart and brain, and stabilizes your electromagnetic field. In other words, it gives your vibration a clear, strong start. You don't need 30 minutes of meditation or a complicated routine. You just need a few minutes of presence, breath, and feeling. That's all it takes to shift your energy from reactive to intentional. When you begin your day like this, you stop the crash before it even starts. You step into your world with a coherent field and the quantum responds accordingly. It's one thing to start your morning in a high vibration state, but what happens when life starts throwing curveballs? A difficult conversation, a triggering message, a wave of self-doubt out of nowhere. This is the moment most people lose. Coherence and their vibration comes crashing down. But here's what you need to know. You don't lose your vibration in big, dramatic ways. You lose it in the small, transitional moments, the micro reactions when your nervous system unconsciously defaults back to survival mode. The good news: these micro moments are also your greatest opportunity to reset fast. Think of them as choice points, tiny windows where you can either fall into old patterns or bring yourself back into alignment. The key is not to avoid stress or discomfort. The key is to build the habit of returning to coherence faster and more effortlessly. So how do you do that? Start with something called the micro reset. It's a simple practice designed to help you stabilize your energy in just seconds, no matter what's happening around you. Here's how it works: 1. The moment you feel yourself contract, tension, irritation, overwhelm - pause. 2. Drop your shoulders. Let your jaw unclench. 3. Take one slow, intentional breath, longer on the exhale. 4. Place your attention on your heart. 5. Recall the feeling you created during your morning. Practice peace, gratitude, calm. Let it fill you, even for just a breath or two. That's it. You've just shifted from reactivity to awareness, from survival frequency to heart-centered coherence. You didn't force yourself to be positive. You simply remembered who you are when you're not reacting. Do this a few times a day and something powerful begins to happen. Your nervous system rewires itself to return to balance more quickly. Your energy field becomes more resilient, and instead of your vibration crashing throughout the day, it begins to self-correct like a finely tuned instrument. You don't need to maintain a perfect state all day long. You just need to notice when you've drifted and gently guide yourself back. That's the real secret to maintaining a high frequency. Not perfection, but the power to recalibrate again and again. Another major reason your vibration keeps crashing often without you realizing it is how you manage your focus and attention. You might think you're just having a busy day, but if your attention is scattered across 100 different things, social media, emails, background noise, mental loops are actually fragmenting your energy. And in quantum terms, scattered attention equals a scattered signal. This is why you can feel exhausted by the end of the day, even if nothing especially bad happened. Your vibration has been leaking out in 1,000 directions. When your awareness is constantly being pulled outward, your field loses its coherence, and that's when your energy dips, clarity fades, and stress creeps in. So what's the fix? It's not about eliminating every distraction. It's about reclaiming your focus intentionally. Start by practicing single task presence. That means doing one thing at a time with your full attention. When you're eating, just eat. When you're speaking with someone, be fully there. When you're working, set a timer and give it your undivided energy. It sounds simple, but it's one of the most powerful ways to restore and stabilize your field. Why does this work? Because focused attention builds coherence. Your mind, breath, and nervous system begin to move in sync. The chaos fades, and your vibration rises naturally. You can take it even further by creating tiny rituals throughout your day to remind you to return to alignment. For example, every time you wash your hands, take one conscious breath. Before walking into a new room or space, pause for 3 seconds and feel gratitude. When closing your laptop, silently affirm, I am energy, I am aligned. These don't seem like much, but over time, they rewire your default state. You begin to live from coherence, not chase it. And here's the best part. You don't need to be in perfect peace all day long. The goal isn't perfection, it's awareness and recalibration. The more often you choose to return to alignment, the more your vibration stabilizes and the less likely it is to crash in the first place. Energy leaks stop when presence begins. Focus isn't just productivity, it's energetic mastery. Let's talk about something most people never consider when it comes to their vibration. Energetic protection. Your vibration doesn't just crash from what's going on inside you. It's also affected by what you're absorbing from the world around you, other people's emotions, chaotic environments, digital overload. Of it can subtly infiltrate your field and pull you out of alignment if you're not conscious of it. But protection isn't about fear or putting up walls. It's about creating a stable, coherent field that naturally filters out what's not in resonance with your chosen frequency. When your internal state is strong, you don't have to fight the world, you simply stop matching its chaos. From a quantum perspective, this is measurable. Your heart emits the strongest electromagnetic field in your body, and that field extends several feet beyond you. When your heart is in a coherent rhythm, when your breath, emotions, and nervous system are in sync, your energy creates a kind of natural boundary. It doesn't block people out. It just makes you less susceptible to incoherent influences. One way to strengthen this boundary fast is through a simple visualization practice. Here's how to try it. 1. Take a moment to breathe slowly and center your awareness in your heart. 2. As you inhale, imagine a golden light entering your chest. 3. With each exhale, feel that light expanding around you, forming a radiant field. Foresee this field as intelligent and responsive. It allows in what supports you and gently repels what doesn't. As you do this, you may feel a shift of warmth in your chest, a calming of your nervous system. That's your energy realigning. You're no longer porous and reactive. You're anchored and clear. The more often you practice this, especially before entering challenging environments, the more protected and steady your vibration becomes. Remember, your goal isn't to block the world out. It's to strengthen your signal so powerfully that only what resonates can enter your space. And when your energy is that coherent, you don't have to protect yourself out of fear. You radiate in a way that transforms the space around you. So far, you've learned how to raise your vibration, how to reset it when it crashes, and how to protect it from external noise. But now comes the most important step, integration, because high vibration isn't a temporary feeling. It's a way of being, a baseline you build over time. The biggest mistake people make is treating alignment like something they have to achieve once and then hope it sticks. But coherence isn't something you master once, it's something you practice over and over until it becomes second nature. Think of it like tuning an instrument. Even the finest instruments go out of tune with time and use. Your energy is the same. No matter how elevated you feel in the morning, life will throw contrast your way. What matters most is how quickly you return to your centered, coherent state, and the secret to making that return automatic. Embodied practice to integrate everything you've learned. Take a few minutes each day to do one simple exercise. 1. Sit quietly with one hand on your heart. 2. Breathe in slowly, evenly. Let your breath guide your body back to calm. 3. Visualize the golden field of energy surrounding you. Silently repeat, I am the observer, I am the field, I am the frequency. These aren't just words. They're reminders that your true power comes from how you choose to feel and focus, no matter what's happening outside of you, even when you're busy, even when things get messy, especially then. The more you show up for this practice, the more your vibration stabilizes. You'll notice your reactions soften, your clarity sharpen, and your emotional resilience grow. Situations that once threw you off no longer carry the same charge. And most importantly, you stop chasing high vibration and start living from it. It becomes who you are, not because you're pretending, but because you've trained your body, mind, and energy field to hold that frequency naturally. This is how you fix the crash. Not with more effort, but with consistent, conscious return to alignment. And over time, that return becomes your default.